The dictatorship of General Kaguta Museveni is planning to pass a bill which is known as the Sovereignty Bill, aimed at cutting ties between the international community and political players, but also aimed at cutting the relationship in the way of politics between international players and Uganda. And very many people have come out to say that that bill is aimed at tackling Bobi Wine's influence across the globe. And it is the truth, because in some parts of the bill they go on to say that no foreign influence should come in politics. And it has been over on the side of the dictatorship. We saw how the non-government organizations were attacked. Almost 20% of them were closed down, thinking that they were a catalyst in change of government. Signs of a dictatorship is when you see when they are attacking the freedom of expression, when they attack the freedom of association, and it is being done on an international level. In fact, Odonga Otto explained it well. He said these statements. Here's a tape.
What the government is trying to do, they are trying to pass a law which controls activities for people outside Uganda. People outside Uganda from influencing the internal matters of Uganda. At the face of it, this is a very bad law. This is a very bad law. I have read the contents. Actually, inside the law, they just fell short of adding the name of Bobi Wine. They just fell short. We've ever passed a law like that, the UPDF Act, where we put names of people. This is the only country in the world where two things happen in our laws. One, we have a penal offense in the Constitution. Usually the Constitution should say it is illegal for anyone to overthrow government using unlawful means. But in our Constitution it says anyone who commits such a thing commits an offense of treason. It should have been the penal code to prescribe there. But that shows where we've come from.
That is Odonga Otto. So the National Sovereignty Bill, it is a threat for the freedom of association. It can be used to jail opposition politicians, because liberating a country or change fighting so that governments can change involve international players. It's very hard to change government when you don't have international backers, both militarily or democratically. There are some finances, okay, there are some advice, there are some international appointed players that press the regime to not act in a certain way. So in this video, I've come to talk about the sovereignty bill that is going to be passed by the regime. What means for our politics, and most importantly, the study materials you can learn from the politics of our nation. But before I do this, I want to let you know that if you're into this channel, please subscribe. And if you're watching this video from a different platform, please head on to YouTube, type in Sula Mawagri. There's a lot of content of this nature. If geopolitics and economics is what you want, this should be definitely the right channel for you to subscribe to. One, the National Sovereignty Bill. It is a radical bill that, if passed into law, is going to be used to fight the opposition. Can you imagine in some parts of the bill they go on to say that foreigners are not allowed to meddle themselves in politics, and such things they can be even cured in our current law, because even funding, there is a strict funding which I think doesn't exceed 100 million. Okay, for a politician to get us donation from outside. The current law can cure that, but they are going to put it out with the harsh punishment of up to 20 years in jail. For example, when Bobi Wine went out of the country, he ran to America, where he is laying strategies, speaking to international players and leaders. In the new law, it can be deemed that he's being influenced by international community, and when he comes back, they may jail him for 20 years. It is a sign of a dying horse, where laws, okay, are done with the eyes. They make a law with an intention of jailing someone, and those are bad laws. Okay, it is said that if you are given an opportunity of making a law, do not make a law that is targeting someone. Make a law so that even when you are not in the same office and your worst enemy is in the same office, you feel comfortable being tried in the same law. Because I keep on telling people, okay, history is replete with generals, okay, kingdoms, leaderships that have failed, and the same laws have been applied on them. General Museveni was a beneficiary of international support when he was in the bush, from Gaddafi, from ETC, even when he was standing as president, from Sweden. The same person is closing away those opportunities. And most importantly, the democratic opportunities, not leave alone or going to the war to change government. So it is a bad law. We must desist from passing laws that are built with someone in the head. Ever since the opposition began, at least one of the things Bobi Wine has had as an upper hand is the international community. It is the truth. So they are trying to break away from that, so that the dictatorship controls. But for me, I keep on telling people that laws are not supposed to be designed looking at someone. In fact, Odonga Otto was better explained it. It only misses the name Bobi Wine, but we all know how the sovereignty bill is going to be, to act. And for me, I feel bad that instead of passing law to further the lives, to flourish the economy, we are passing law to limit freedom of expression, to limit freedom of speech, to limit freedom of association. Last time, the Supreme Court nullified the Computer Misuse Act. So those are laws that are designed to fight politics, which is unfortunate. Of course, as my opinion remains truly, Mr. Makinde, Kabir Suleiman Magal. If you're into this channel, please subscribe, like, and comment so that I'm motivated to do more of such videos. I will see you on another one. Peace.